Here I'd like to show how I set up music on the Mac for use with Radiologik. First we'll launch Music, start listening, and we're brought to the Listen Now area. But what I'm interested in is what's in my library, and there are some different views here, like an artist view and an album view. But these are very art-centric, consumer-oriented maybe, and don't show a whole lot of detail. What I find more useful is the songs view. This gives more detail, it gives all the songs, but there's more we can do to make this give us more information. One of the first things I like to do is from the View menu, I will show the status bar. That puts a status bar at the bottom of the window here, where I see we have 2,696 items, 10.1 days worth, and how much space it takes up. If you click this, it gives you finer detail. Now it tells us all the way down to the second how much time this takes up. And this may be useful later when we want to calculate the length of maybe playlists. Now in here, I see it has 2,696 items, but I happen to know that I have fewer than that actually on this Mac in this library. And we're seeing more of this because many of these tracks have actually been purchased and they're not actually downloaded. So what I want to do here, just to show the tracks we can actually play in Radiologik, I want to do View and then show only downloaded music. Now, while we're at this, let's get rid of a few other things. We'll go into Music and in the Preferences. And here, I'm going to elect to not show Apple Music nor the iTunes Store. They're not useful to me in this context. Over here on the playback, we have Sound Check on, which normalizes audio fairly well, brings the volume levels to mostly an equal level. Over here, in the Files area, this shows me where my library actually is, where all the tracks are actually organized. And I like having Keep Music Media folder organized. That way when I add tracks, they actually go into artist album structures. But I have Copy Files to Music Media folder when adding to library off. Because when this is on, if I'm adding tracks to music, meaning dragging them from somewhere into music, it'll actually make a copy of it and then organize it in this folder structure. Well, there are times when I actually want to keep my own structure somewhere else, like for Station Elements Audio. And if I have this off, when I drag tracks from a different folder outside of this folder in here, they'll still be in music, but they'll actually be referencing the location they actually are and not make a copy. Now, if you do want to get tracks into this structure, because I do want all my music organized into the artist and albums, we can go to the Finder, and in our Home folder, we'll go into Music. Then there's another Music folder for the app, and within that you may find a Media folder, and within that you should find an Automatically Add to Music folder. Now, any tracks that you put into this folder will actually get organized into the artist and album folders here. But this is kind of deep in here, so this is kind of hard to get to. So what I like to do is make it a little more accessible. What I'll do is I might put it in the sidebar here so I can get to it more easily. Or I may drag and drop it with the Command-Option keys and make an alias somewhere of it so I can get to it more easily. Let's see what else we can do to help our view here. There are a couple things. One, we can add more columns to this. For that, we do View and View Options. And then we could add columns like Comments or Date Added or Last Played. Or perhaps we want the bit rate, the kind, the sample rate. And let's open this window up a little bit and we can see more of these columns here. Now you can take these columns and if you click and drag on the column header, you can rearrange your columns. You can resize your columns. And by clicking in a column header, you can actually sort by the column as well. Some of these will actually change their mode a little bit. So if I sort by album, if I click this again, it'll do album by artist and then album by artist and year. And we can also do, with this ascending and descending arrow, we can sort in both directions. But what if I'm looking for a particular, let's say, artist in this list? It may be easier just to search for it. And there is a search over here, but when we use this search, it actually searches everywhere, and it presents us with things like the artist view or the album view. Well, I want to find it in the songs view. And maybe there's more than one result, and I'd like to see the context of where it actually is. Well, to do that, there's another type of search, but it's just called filter. Show filter field here in the view menu is Command Option F, so you can remember that. And that puts a filter menu over here. So now when I search for something, like an artist, it narrows down to just those search results. There's another thing I like to see in the view too that helps us find things and navigate, and that is from the view menu, choosing column browser, showing the column browser. And this allows us to drill down by, let's say, a genre, and then an artist, and then even an album, so we can find things a little more easily that way. And there's one more thing I'd like to show that integrates music a little bit with Radiologik so that you can actually send tracks over to Radiologik without leaving music. And for that, we're going to install Apple scripts. To do that, I'm going to launch Radiologik. And from the Radiologik DJ menu, I'm going to choose Install Music App Scripts. So this tells what it does. It adds scripts. We install those. When we come back to music, we have a new menu here. And it has 3 new items in it. And now we can use this to add tracks to Radiologik DJ directly from music. Add to Radiologik DJ queue adds to the bottom of the queue. Add to top, inserts it at the top, and then this other one called Insert Above Radiologik DJ Queue Selection will insert it above our selection in Radiologik DJ's queue. So to do this, you can have any number of tracks selected. Let's go out here and show a few tracks. So I'll pick a couple here. I'm holding the Command key down for non-contiguous selections, and I'll say Add to Radiologik DJ Queue. And over here, we'll see that Radiologik DJ has added them. If I want to add, let's say, this track to the top of the queue, I can do Add to Top of Radiologik DJ queue, and it appears there. Let's say I want something in position 4 here in front of this track. We'll pick this track down here, and we'll say Insert Above, and it will take the position of number 4 there. And that's basically it for showing around music.